Hello everyone, welcome to La Excellence IAS Kalam Program, a GS Mains Answer Writing Initiative, Season 2, Episode 49. Let us look at today's question. The question says, Supreme Court in its judgment over restoring 4G connectivity to the Jammu and Kashmir abated its responsibility of being a protector of the fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution. Comment. This question is for 10 marks and we have to write the answer in 150 words. This question is from General Studies paper 2 and from the subtopic of judiciary. Okay. If we look at the context why this question has been asked, in August of 2019, on August 5th, there was dilution of Article 370. Jammu and Kashmir state was divided into two union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and there was restrictions which were enforced in Jammu and Kashmir since that time. The restrictions were also extended to internet connectivity. It has been more than 9 months. A case was filed for restoration of 4G services because it breached the fundamental rights of the Constitution. The fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression is limited because of restricted internet connectivity. In this context, if we see whether fundamental rights are absolute, they are not. They are subject to reasonable restrictions. And in this case, the reasonable restriction is that of national security. For ensuring national security, restricting the fundamental right of speech and expression for 9 months, that too in a crisis like COVID-19 and the lockdown, is it correct? So this was the contention of the petitioners. While the government said that having uninterrupted internet access is leading to increased terrorism incidents. So in view of this case, what was the Supreme Court's latest verdict? Supreme Court said that balance was needed. A delicate balancing of national security concerns and human rights was the need of the hour. It observed that outside forces are trying to infiltrate the borders and destabilize the integrity of India. In view of this, Supreme Court ordered the constitution of a special committee which is to be headed by Union Home Secretary. But it is being criticized that the ball is back in the court of officials because it was the officials who imposed restriction, and now by referring the issue back to the committee headed by officials, it is being criticized that the ball is back in the court of officials. It is in this context that this question has been asked, whether the Supreme Court has abated its responsibility of being the protector of fundamental rights. Let us see at some of the value addition points that could be written in this answer. The first and foremost, I would say prerequisite to write this answer is knowing about the context. That is, what is the 4G connectivity issue of Jammu and Kashmir and what was the Supreme Court's verdict. You need to know little bit details of the judgment to answer this question because it is a specific question relating to the judgment. And then you need to know about articles which give power to the Supreme Court. For example, Article 32 of the Indian Constitution gives power to issue writs to enforce the fundamental rights of the Constitution. Also, Constitution says that Supreme Court is a guarantor of fundamental rights and guardian of the Constitution. Other than these, you can also write previous judgments where fundamental rights were enforced by the Supreme Court. For example, in Puttaswamy judgment, that is a right to privacy judgment, Supreme Court upheld right to privacy being an integral part of right to life and personal liberty of Article 21, and it also gave a doctrine of proportionality. That is, whenever fundamental rights are being curbed, the reason for such curbing should be proportional to the action that is being taken. Okay, that is known as doctrine of proportionality, and Supreme Court held this view in Puttaswamy judgment, that is right to privacy judgment. You can also write about what is the role of judiciary as envisaged in the preamble or in the Constitution. Coming to what is to be avoided in this answer, this is a specific question, not just to judiciary but also specific to one judgment, that is in the judgment over restoring 4G connectivity to Jammu and Kashmir. So try to avoid the other judgments in the core of the answer, limit to this issue only and be relevant to the answer. If we look at how to write the answer in the introduction, body and conclusion format, one can take two stands in this question. The first stand is that yes, Supreme Court has abated its responsibility. Or the second case is that Supreme Court's judgment is appropriate because ground level situation is known to the executive, so they are better at deciding whether or not to restore 4G connectivity. So depending upon the answer, the core of your answer will vary, but the introduction and conclusion will largely contain similar points on the importance of role of Supreme Court. In the introduction, you can write about either Article 32, which says that Supreme Court is the guarantor of the fundamental rights, or you can write about the role of a general statement about the role of judiciary in India. Coming to the body, in either of the two situations, you can write about what is the context, what is the verdict given, what is the criticism. But if you are writing that Supreme Court's judgment is appropriate, you have to give a backing statement for your answer. That is, why Supreme Court is right in giving the judgment. Otherwise, if you are saying that yes, Supreme Court has the criticism on Supreme Court is correct, then you should write what should have been done. Okay, so this should be the body of our answer. Coming to the conclusion, you can again write about the importance of Supreme Court. So whatever you are writing in the introduction, if you are writing Article 32 in introduction, write about the role of judiciary in the conclusion, or vice versa. You can write importance of Supreme Court and how it should uphold fundamental rights. Let us now look at a sample answer. The person writes, Supreme Court is the guardian of the Constitution, and Article 32 of Indian Constitution provides for right to remedies for enforcement of fundamental rights. So Article 32 is also a fundamental right. It provides for right to remedies for enforcement of fundamental rights. It empowers the Supreme Court to issue writs to enforce the fundamental rights. So here he is talking about role of Supreme Court in enforcing fundamental rights and it being the guardian of the Constitution. This is the introduction he is giving to this answer. Role of Supreme Court in enforcing fundamental rights he has written in the introduction. What is he writing further? He is writing 4G connectivity has been banned in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir following dilution of Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. A case has been filed against it. So this he is writing about the context. Then he writes Supreme Court's judgment in 4G connectivity issue of Jammu and Kashmir. And here he is writing the observations as well as the judgment. What does he write? He wrote that observations, repeated resorting to section 144 of CRPC. Don't try to miss such things. What is section 144? It is of Criminal Procedure Code. So don't try to do such mistakes. So repeated resorting to section 144 of CRPC is not constitutional. So this is one observation that has been made by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also observed that COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown call for increased need of 4G connectivity. So he wrote about some of the observations which are in favor of the petitioners, that is the requirement of 4G connectivity. And then he is writing judgment. It directed two Union Secretaries and Chief Secretary of Jammu and Kashmir to review the issue. Okay, so it can be taken that despite these observations in favor of petitioners, it has given a judgment and it is handing over the responsibility to the executive. These are the officials which belong to the executive organ of the government. Okay, so Union Secretaries and Chief Secretary of Jammu and Kashmir belong to the executive. He is trying to focus on that. Let us see what he writes further. He is writing criticism of the judgment. And what is the criticism of the judgment? Referring the question to the executive is abating responsibility by judiciary. He then writes inefficient checks and balances mechanism. The Constitution has envisaged a good checks and balances mechanism, especially the judiciary. By means of its judicial review, it can check the arbitrary action by the executive or by the legislature. So in this case, in this judgment, it is not effectively ensuring this checks and balances mechanism. Then he is writing doctrine of proportionality to check the proportionality between the action of state and violation of fundamental rights of citizens was not applied. I already told you this doctrine was evolved in the Puttaswamy case of right to privacy. Right to privacy judgment, this doctrine was evolved. It has got 3 components. It says that whatever the act is done so as to restrict or so as to violate the fundamental rights, that action should have a legal base. Okay, it should be legal. And the second requirement is that the interest of the state should be legitimate. For example, in this case, it is national security. So the interest of the state should be legitimate. And then the third thing is that the action should be proportional to what is the objective. Okay, here the objective is again national security or preventing terrorism from erupting in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and for that whether this action is proportional or not. Okay, so it calls for a rational nexus between the means and objects of the act. So that is the doctrine of proportionality. You can use this in any of your answers. Let us see what he writes further. No attempt at giving rules or guidelines to follow up the matter have been given. See, Supreme Court many number of times it has given guidelines on how to do things. For example, the Vishakha guidelines which were given led to the formation of or led to the enactment of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act. Okay, also in the same issue in Anuradha Bhasan verdict in January, Supreme Court has given some guidelines as to when review has to be done, and periodic review has to be done by the executive so as to see whether the imposition of restrictions is needed or not. In this situation, that is in the present verdict, such guidelines were not given. Moving forward, he is writing, Supreme Court being the guarantor of the fundamental rights has the responsibility of deciding the constitutionality of actions of other organs of the state, that is executive and legislature. So here he is telling that Supreme Court can decide the constitutionality of actions of these organs of state, that is executive and legislature. In exercise of this function, it cannot abdicate from its responsibility, and making use of provisions under Article 32 of the Constitution, it should protect the fundamental rights of people of Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the conclusion he is writing, where he is trying to repeat what has been given in this question. And it's a simple conclusion if you observe, though it is looking a bit lengthy. He told about Supreme Court being the guarantor and its responsibility to decide on the constitutionality, and so it should protect the fundamental rights. Nothing great about it, but it is simple and relevant. If we analyze the entire answer, he has written a decent introduction writing about role of Supreme Court in enforcing fundamental rights. Then he wrote the context, that is what is the 4G connectivity issue, and then he wrote about what is the judgment, what were the observations made, and despite the observations what was the judgment given. He wrote the criticism of the judgment, and in the conclusion he wrote about the Supreme Court's importance. Okay, what is the role that is to be played by the Supreme Court in upholding the fundamental rights. What I felt is he should have given some way forward in this case, which is missing, because he wrote about the criticisms of the judgment. He should have mentioned what could have been done. For example, because he has already given that no guidelines have been given, he could have said that Supreme Court should have given some guidelines, or doctrine of proportionality should have been applied. Just this way forward in the conclusion would have been sufficient. Okay, so other than this, the answer looks quite holistic. It's a good answer. Let us come to the end of our discussion. Before ending, let me give you the task for today. Read about the issue of dilution of Article 370, how it was diluted, what were the provisions applied, what is Article 35A, what were the provisions under Article 35A, is it relevant now or not. So read about all these issues and make a small note of it, because UPSC is asking current affairs from last 2 or 3 years in the prelims as well as in the mains. So this will be an important topic even for this mains as well as for the upcoming prelims. Okay, let us all meet again tomorrow. Thank you.